Imaging, a facelift, and chin implant. We have our patient chart open, and we are wanting to show this patient what things could look like if she were to have a chin implant and facelift. So what I've done is I've opened up my picture, and keeping in mind that we have the ability to zoom in and to zoom out with the home and the end key. Home zooms out, end zooms in. So I want to be a little bit in so that I can work on these areas so they're not tiny. It's easier to work on an area that's larger than not. So first thing let's do is do the chin implant. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to the top banner and choose Moves. We get a drop down. I'm going to choose the Morph drop down. Now I'm going to go over to my patient picture, and what I want to do is I want to grab an area that is the area that I want to pull out. I want to be careful not to put things in the box that I don't want to pull out to demonstrate the chin implant. So I'm going to make my box and include a lot of the blue. I'm going to click down, pull my box over, and include just this area in my box. I click down. Now I have the ability to move around, and what I want to do is I want to click down on my chin and pull it forward. Okay, that's good. Now I want to pull it a little more forward, but I just want to pull this bottom part of the chin. So I'm going to make another box and pull that forward. Okay, I'm happy with the projection of that chin. Now we can start on our facelift. What I like to do to start is make a big box covering this whole area. I want to pull it up and over. I want to do the same thing, including a little bit of the sideburn. And I do these moves because it will show when we do the soft compare those areas moving, and it helps demonstrate to the patient what areas are affected by the facelift surgery. Now let's grab this area right here, and I'm going to click down in my box and pull that up. Keep in mind that when you make a box, where you click down makes a difference because it's going to pull more in the area where you've clicked down. Now I'm going to grab the jowls, pull those up. Now I want to affect the neck. Let's make a big box and include a lot of blue. I'm going to push that back. Now you can pull back a lot or a little, depending on what you want to demonstrate for this patient. Now, because it's not a perfect curve, you're going to have to go back and address the areas that need to be picked up and tightened more. And you want to make the changes to improve the neckline to the point at which you think they will have improvement. But I'm making lots of boxes, and I'm pulling back and pushing back to take it to the point where I want to take it. Now, I've pulled things probably fairly close to where I want them to be. I'll probably make some more adjustments, but I want to work in closer. So I'm going to hit my end key. Now, I'm going to scroll this scroll bar down because this allows me to see the area that I want to see easily. Okay, I can see right here there's a little bump I want to fix. I'm still on my morph tool. I want to do a little bit sharper angle. And now I want to start some of the pretty work. I'm going to go up to brushes to the drop down at the top and choose sizes. That opens up my toolbox. Now you will notice in here my current brush is none. So I need to go up to brushes and choose a brush, and I want the tissue brush. Now this scroll bar here allows me to control the intensity. I want to keep my intensity low. This also will allow me to choose the size of tool that I want. I'm going to stay with this one, and I'm going to go over to my picture. What I want to do is I want to take this darker color and drag it down the neckline, because you want to keep in mind that light colors come forward and dark colors recede. So I want to make this edge of the neck look like it's curving backwards. So I'm going to click down on the dark and I'm going to pull it out. Now if I had the intensity turned up higher, it would come out real dark. And it's usually better not to have the intensity turned up very high when you're working on this. A little bit goes a long way. But I'm dragging this all the way down the neckline. So now that edge doesn't look like it's a flap anymore. Now I'm going to grab a bigger size tool and I'm going to turn my intensity down even more, almost underneath the T of light. And so now I'm going to go back over to my picture with my little tool. I'm going to click down in this dark area, and it's coming in lighter now, and I'm kind of sketching with this. I'm dragging the tool along that dark edge and I'm softening it. Now, this is just the very beginning of this, but already you can see that it looks better. Now I'm going to help create the neck, or the jawline. We can see where the jawline is. So I'm going to pick an even bigger tool, click down in the dark, and I'm going to quickly drag it out. Right up where I want to create the new jawline. Now, part of the problem with this picture is she still has the shadow of the jowl. So I'm going to click down in a light area, drag it across. I'm choosing that light color as the color that I want, and I'm dragging it across the color that I want to change. So now, all of a sudden, she has a much better jawline. I'm just clicking down and I'm dragging across the areas that I'm wanting to change. She's got a little bit of a shadow right here that I don't like. I'm going to click down in the slightly lighter area. That's a very subtle thing, but it's going to make a difference at the end. Now the line that comes down here on the side of the mouth, I want to soften. I don't want it to go away because we know it doesn't, but I want to demonstrate that it won't be as deep by just clicking down in the lighter area, dragging it across the darker area. All right, let's go back to our jawline. Now, it takes a while to get to the point where you can make this look soft and smooth. But it doesn't have to be perfect to get the idea across to the patient. Even if all you did was this sketchy stuff. I'm going to hit the home key, which zooms us out. I'm going to go over to the banner at the top and choose under the View drop down. I'm going to choose Original. Okay, so if all we're doing is looking at these two pictures, you absolutely can show this to the patient and they will be blown away at your ability to be able to show them what you expect to get for them. But we can keep going. Once you get good at doing this, let's go back to sizes and go back to the tissue brush. Once you get really good at doing this, you can really make the presentation pleasing to the point that when the patient sits down, you get the oohs and ahs of, oh my gosh, that's exactly what I wanted to look like. And we absolutely get that from patients. Sometimes even tears, because they're so happy to see that what they have in their mind is also what you see as the possibility for them. So just a little bit of light drawing, light sketching, clicking down in the area of the color that I want and dragging it into the color that I want to change, and we are virtually there. I'm going to do a little bit of fine-tuning with some of the shadows from the chin implant. And I'm going to go up to moves and morph, and I'm going to tighten that angle underneath the chin, because now that we've got the colors in there, we can see where the fine-tuning of the presentation needs to happen. So now we are done with the imaging for the facelift and chin implant for this patient. So the patient will sit down with you. You have these side by side, and with this picture highlighted, I am going to go to the View drop down and choose Soft Compare. Now, what this will do is this is going to allow us to move the changes on the picture on the right so that it will demonstrate to the patient exactly what it is that's changing. With the big pictures that we are shooting nowadays, and you should be shooting a picture that is 1.5 to 2.5 megabytes, you don't really need anything bigger than that. Choose Reselect, and I'm going to just choose the area that I have made changes to. So I'm going to make a box around that area that I've changed. I click down, and so this is the box that's going to change when I do the soft compare. They'll see the tissues moving back to where they were originally. So I'm going to go back over to my soft compare box. I'm going to just touch the little box on the scroll bar. Now it's gathering the information from my big picture. Now the little blue circle is gone, I can drag this scroll bar across, and you can see that the picture on the right has now changed back to original. I drag it back to the right, and you can see the areas that are moving. This is invaluable in showing the patient the changes that you have just implemented. They can see how much of a change the chin implant is, when it's possible that just looking at the static picture, they don't see the big change between the position of the chin on the left and the chin on the right. This is the wow factor right here with this soft compare. So be sure that you use this when you're showing the patient. When you're done with that, you click Done. And I'm going to save, or I'm going to make a copy of this picture. Make a copy, and I'm going to close that copy and say yes. Now I still have the original picture in its original state, because this is just the original, but this is the actual picture. I'm going to close this one. And then when I close this one, it will ask me if I want to save my modifications, and I'm going to say yes. So, boom. Did you see it jump on there? Now I have saved those changes, and I have my my modified picture, and I still have my original picture that is unchanged. So I can still go back and show the patient their imaging, or they could bring their spouse in if they want their spouse to come see the imaging. I still have it all saved within the system. In order to remember which is which, I'm going to highlight the number 6 picture, which is the one that I changed. I'm going to rename it. Here's my little rename box, and you can see that View 0006 is highlighted, so I can change that to Imaged. and hit the return button. Now you can see where that picture has been renamed, so I know that this is an imaged picture, and I won't accidentally show it to somebody as a preoperative picture.